Hey, Erin Knight here with my good friend Mira Dessy, the ingredient guru. She is one of our speakers on the upcoming Chronic Headache and Migraine Summit. So I wanted to have her on and introduce her and talk to her a little bit about her talk that is featured on the summit and even opened up as one of the early release talks. So it's something that you can listen to right away if you go to headachesummit.org. So welcome, Mira. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Erin. I'm glad to be here.
And thanks for being one of our speakers. I really enjoyed talking to you in our interview, and you shared so many practical tips. Like your approach to helping people is very easy to take action on because you tell people exactly what to avoid and why. So I feel like it's very actionable, which is cool. And you have another piece of advice to share with us today. We were just chatting about some news that's coming out about some food colorings that could spark headaches in certain people that are reactive to it. And it wasn't something I really ever heard about before. So would you share that with us and, tell us the names to look out for and why it's potentially a trigger?
Sure. And actually, I'd like to start by pointing out that what we're talking about is food intolerances. Mm-hmm. And the truth is, for anyone who has any food intolerances, those can, as you know, be a trigger for headaches and migraines simply because the body is already in a state of inflammation. But there are two food colorings that are often found in food. And because they're considered natural, sometimes you don't always think about them as a coloring agent or as something to watch out for. One is called cochineal, and it's usually found in things that are dyed red. And it comes from, it comes from cochineal beetles. It's a crushed up beetle. And then they make the red dye from it. Yes. So don't eat bugs. That's probably a good one to watch out for. And it's usually listed as cochineal. Sometimes it's listed as natural red. But it's really not something that you want to eat if you're sensitive to, or if you have an objection to that. So for example, vegetarians would not want to eat that. And people who keep kosher, by the way. Oh. The other one is something called annatto. And for a very long time, annatto was thought to be very benign, very mild. It comes from a plant. It's a tree source, but it happens to have a fairly high intolerance profile. And so there are a lot of people who are more sensitive to it than they realize. And that's found in things that are dyed sort of a yellowish orange. For example, cheeses. Mm-hmm. If you see like a Colby Jack cheese, that yellow part probably comes from annatto. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. These weren't even on my radar. It's being dangerous because, they sound natural and, would have no idea that maybe not everybody's reacting to it, but you could at least do a trial to take out these certain foods and see if it makes a difference for you because you might be sensitive specifically to
absolutely
some of the triggers.
Wow. Yeah. And so it's just one more piece of the puzzle, one more way to be mindful of your food, what you're eating, and how to eat well for your particular body.
So for people that are listening, if this is something that's interesting to you, then you'll definitely want to check out Mira's talk on the summit because we go into more ingredients, just like this, one by one, like why it's not a good choice, what to look out for on the label, and what to eat instead. So like I said, if you go to headachesummit.org, you can sign up and it'll say, okay, event is live and free from July 10th to 17th, which is true. But because we know you don't want to wait until July 10th to start learning, they've actually unlocked 3 talks. So as soon as you put in your name and email address, you can start watching Mira's talk. So I know.
And thanks for doing that. Thanks for putting me on early. I love the summit model because it's a great way to share a lot of information on a topic and really go in depth, gathering together a lot of different people. And I got to say, I'm really grateful to be on the summit. You have some phenomenal people. And so I'm very excited to be part of that. But even more, it's just really condensing all of the information and a variety of different approaches to a topic and bringing these experts together for a short period of time. But it makes this very powerful outreach.
Mm-hmm. What's different in your eyes from somebody, maybe they frequently listen to podcasts or they've tuned into some webinars or something like that? What's different and special about a summit versus just these ongoing sources of information?
I think one of the things that I like about the summit model is it really goes in depth with the information because you're talking to so many different experts. You're going to cover a lot of different angles. And you're also really sort of immersing yourself in it. I find that sometimes when people learn information in dribs and drabs, little bits and pieces, it sort of floats along and maybe they pay attention, maybe they don't.
Mm-hmm.
But when they're really focusing, because let's be honest, for a summit model, you got to commit to listening to the videos or buy the summit if you
Mm-hmm.
don't have time to listen to it all at once. And so you're having this really focused attentional concentration. And I don't know about you, Erin, but when I listen to a summit, I'm taking notes, like I'm
Yeah.
writing it down. When I
Mm-hmm.
listen to a podcast or if it's just a one-off interview, I'm not always taking notes because it's like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, super
Yeah.
conversational. And I love podcasts. I listen to a ton of them, but usually they're like introducing somebody's new book, or a webinar will be introducing somebody's program or something like that. Whereas this summit is really meant to be completely educational. We don't let people sell and promote their things. So you
Mhm.
don't have to go on
Yeah.
worrying that you're just going to be hearing sales pitches and things like that. It's really there for some of our world experts on a specific topic, like headaches in this case, sharing their expertise and clinical results and any research that they've been getting into and things like that. So that's what I think is really cool and unique. And this is the first time that we've ever had a holistic and functionally based event just for the topic of headaches and migraines. So it's a unique
Yeah.
opportunity to like really learn a lot about one specific topic that, if you're following this page, you're probably very interested in. I used to listen to some when I was going through like gut healing issues or hormone healing issues, and I just felt like I was going to class. Like you said, you sit
Yeah.
there and you really focus and start to take notes, and you may not absorb 100%, but you like make notes of like books that you want to follow up on or things you want to try, and the value for the time that you're going to spend on there is unquestionable. So I'm excited
Well,
to.
and I think the other thing that's great about a summit model, because I have yet to listen to a summit where this has not happened, because it's meant to be an educational model. The people that you have on are bringing their A game, like they are there to just dump knowledge and share at a very deep level. No, there's no ulterior motive. Nobody's
Yeah.
there, like you said. Nobody's trying to sell a program. They're just looking to get that information out there, and because they're trying to reach a very targeted audience. I think that also makes it more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have an awful lot of people paying attention, learning what they're there to learn. And the goal is honestly to help people feel better, to help them resolve some of their issues, learn new information that might be the key. Maybe there was that one missing piece or that tiny little bit more that they needed. And by bringing so many people together in one space, they get their aha moment and they're able to make that shift and support themselves and meet their wellness goals.
Yeah, that's beautifully said. That's exactly what I want people to walk away with after this event. So register right now,
Yeah,
headachesummit.org. Yeah,
absolutely.
start listening to Mira's talk and our other talks that we've unlocked early. One is about the Erland syndrome, which is like a visual processing disorder that can cause a lot of stress in your body that you don't even know until you just get a new colored lenses for glasses, and then
Wow.
that cloud is lifted. And then the other one is all about hormone balance, because I know that's a hot topic with Dr. Jolene Brighton. So those are our 3 early talks. And thank you so much, Mira, for participating and for sharing your expertise. You do the research for us, right? So we don't have to.
Absolutely.
We don't have
That's
to
my
spend
thing. I
hours
do
and
the
hours.
research so you don't have to.
I love it.
Exactly. Well,
So
thanks again for having me on and look forward to seeing you and everybody else on the summit. It's going to be great.
okay, great. Thanks so much.